Welcome back to Perfect Shot of Jacks. Today I have a 2011 Ford Taurus SHO with some really hammered paint. The owner tells me he only goes through the automatic car wash, and you can see there's kind of a white opaque film all over this paint, and that is the destruction the automatic car wash has done to this clear coat. Now, at the very top, I've already polished that area to give you a contrast and show you how white and opaque it is below the line. And then as I scan up here, you can see how much richer and black the paint actually is in the area that we polished. So I'm getting this dialed in. As the title of this video says, we're going to see if we can use the DIY Gold Standard Compound as a one-step, and we're also going to try it out with several different pads. So here I'm using the DIY rotary wool pad with the compound, and we're going to go ahead, this is what I used on the center of the hood, and we're going to go ahead and do the rest of it on down to show you just how awesome this compound pad combination is and what you can achieve with it. Now, because I'm using this wool pad, I am going to need to come back with a second step. I'll use the red jeweling pad, but we're also going to try it out with the Gold Standard pad as well as the Rupes blue coarse waffle pad. That's a lot to say. And we'll get these all tried out, and then we're going to put it on the 25 millimeter dual action polisher by DIY, and we're going to try it out and see if we can get paint that's even this bad done in one step with the DIY compound and have it come out the way we want it to. So let me get this wiped away here. I am using a dampened towel, dampened with rinseless wash, the orange one there, and then my purple one to kind of polish it up. And I'll bring you in and show you just how amazing it looks with just this step. Like I said, we are going to have to come behind it with the red jeweling pad. But what a difference. A little bit hazy, and that's caused from the pad. But once we go over it with the red jeweling pad, that haze will leave and it will be amazing. So you can see here what it looked like before. And again, this clear coat is really hammered. The automatic car wash just terrorizes clear coat. All right, let's go with the Gold Standard pad. This is kind of a medium all-in-one type pad, and we'll go with the DIY compound and see just how good it can do on paint that's this bad. Now, honestly, I don't think it's going to get it where I want it, but if we don't try it, we'll never know. So we'll do a few passes and see just how effective the compound is on this pad. Obviously, the pad's not that aggressive, so we probably won't get it 100% where we want it, but I want to see what results I can get from this combination. The paint on this car all the way around is in the same shape. It's really needing some TLC, and we're going to do our best to turn it around so that the owner feels like he's driving a brand new car again. Now, I'm only doing a few passes with this. If I wanted to do 5 or 6 passes, I could probably get it where I want it, but I don't want to invest that kind of time with a pad. If I can't get what I'm after in about 3 passes, then we need to go to a different combination. So I'm going to take my dampened rinseless towel here, wipe all that up, and clean it up there with the microfiber. And it's coming out pretty good, not perfect, but admittedly I'm kind of impressed just with what I've got with a few passes and the Gold Standard pad. Not bad at all. Once I go back over that again with the red jeweling pad, it'll really brighten it up a bit, but I did really good at taking out the defects, the scratches, which there are plenty in here, and bringing that up. So let's go ahead and try the Rupes Blue Coarse Waffle Pad. This is another step up in aggression, and use it with the DIY compound, and let's see what we can get out of it. Now, admittedly, this hood is in terrible shape, and no matter what, 9 times out of 10, I would automatically tackle something like this with a wool pad. But today we're doing some experimenting, and we want to see just how good we can get this with a foam pad. And this Rupes Coarse wool, or excuse me, Coarse foam waffle pad is really one of my favorites. It's an excellent pad, does really well. They don't last as long as I'd like them to, but you know, that's kind of the price you pay for doing a lot of cars. Generally speaking, after about 2 cars, doing the whole car with a pad like this, it loses its cut pretty good. It kind of goes down to just sort of a medium cut pad. Let me get this wiped up using my dampened towel and then my other fluffy microfiber to get it all polished up, and let's see how well it does. While it's not perfect, I think this combination is going to work excellent on the sides of the car. Okay. Pretty good, not perfect, but considering how hammered the paint is, and you can see there, not bad at all. So for the hood, I'm definitely going to need to use the wool pad, but that was kind of a given. All right, here on this door, on the right side, I've done a 2-step with the wool pad and then the jeweling pad, and that paint is jumping. It's amazing. On the left side, you can still see very opaque, almost looks like it has a layer of film on it. So let's pull the gloss meter in here and see what it is. So the gloss meter on the unpolished side, 94.7, and on the polished side, 103. Man, that's something I can live with. That's amazing. So that combination is excellent. Now let's see if we can use this as a 1-step. I'm going to use the Rupes pad with the DIY 25mm dual action polisher. This polisher is phenomenal, effortless to use, lots of power, and I want to try this out. If I were going to do the car with just 1 step, let's see if this will take care of it. I'm just going to do a few passes. This polisher works excellent, does a good job fairly quickly, lots of power with the battery, no issues with battery life. A car like this, I could get around with about 1.5 batteries. So let's run it back and forth and see, could the DIY compound be used as a 1-step with the right pad polish and polisher combination? Not using any pressure here, just barely holding it up to the paint, just guiding it around. Going a little bit extra down in those curves, trying to get all the scratches out. This car has lots of them, and we really want to get this paint as perfect as possible. And this is about how long I would take on a 1-step. So let's get it wiped off and see, does this combination qualify as a 1-step? Because if it does, it could definitely shorten the time most of us spend polishing a vehicle, where we could just get it done in 1 step rather than 2 or more, depending on what you're trying to achieve. All right, let's see if we've got it as clear as the right side where I did the 2-step. Let me bring you in. That compound takes an extra wipe or two to get it totally off of there. Definitely works better when you leave it on and then come behind it with the jeweling pad and the DIY Gold Standard polish. All right, let's take a look. Well, here's the side we've done the 2-step. And now let's come over to the 1-step. Yep, that's pretty amazing. You could definitely use this as a 1-step. Great job. Took out all that film and scratches, just about flawless there. Now that's something I can live with. All right, here we're on the passenger side. back on this pillar, and I'm going to do a two-step here. That wool pad is just phenomenal at cutting out scratches. And really, even though I'm doing it in a two-step, I think I'm doing it maybe even faster than if I just did it in a one-step with the dual action. So let me run over this a couple of times with the wool pad in the compound. And for me, I think this is probably just as fast for me doing it in a two-step. It's definitely easier. Moving that rotary around is just effortless. Letting it just flow down the paint, no pressure to speak of. You're just controlling it. Yeah, this is taking the scratches out exceedingly fast. All right, let me come behind it. We're going to use the red jeweling pad with the gold standard polish. And this right here just produces phenomenal gloss and shine. As you saw earlier, the 103 on the gloss meter is just amazing. And again, this is really effortless. Just guiding it along. I am using the Hercules rotary because Ivan has not decided to send me the cordless rotary yet. Hint, hint, Ivan, if you're watching. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and use a Hercules. That way I don't have to swap pads. I can just swap polishers and everything moves along a little bit faster. Little economy of motion here. That red jeweling pad, there's definitely some magic in that pad because the gloss that I get with it is just phenomenal. And as everybody knows, when you're working on black paint, that's the hardest, the finickiest paint to get to look good. And this red jeweling pad just does that effortlessly. All right, let me get this wiped off. That gold standard polish wipes off there pretty effortless. And let me bring in and show you this amazing gloss and shine that this combination delivers. All right, check that out. You can see all the metal flake, no swirls and scratches. I love this combination. Yep, that is perfection right there. It doesn't get much better than that or much easier than that. All right, our 2011 Ford Taurus SHO is complete, and it was quite a job. This car was really, the clear coat had been beat up so much by the automatic car wash, it just had that film over the top of it look. Really beat up. We've got this thing turned around, and one of the harder parts, they had a leaky sunroof a few months ago, and the inside smelled really bad of mold, so we had to clean that up as well. But let me bring in and show you the finished product. All right, we have got an amazing gloss and reflection back on this paint. Really rich and black. You can see the metal flake in it once again. Absolutely beautiful. We've got this dialed in amazingly well. Incredible gloss and reflection all along here. Same up here on the roof. Look at that sparkle. Yep. This was a minor miracle here. All right, if you've got a car that's been through the automatic car wash too many times, or you just haven't taken care of it and you want it polished back to new, maybe you want to get it ceramic coated to keep it that way for years to come, right there's the number to call. 904-575-0258 on the web, perfectshineofjacks.com. And if you got some value out of this, hit the like and subscribe for me. Thank you.